Hello, people! I'm Wesley, your host, with my trusty sidekick, Clementine. There she is, good girl. Today's conversation is all about making wise choices and things you can do to get started making changes to become a healthier you. It's time for another Wesley Podcast online talk show episode thingy brought to you by the good folks at Healthy West Orange. So here we go. On with the show. As always, I'm joined by our producer, Luna.
Hello, Wesley, and hello, everyone listening out there.
Hey, Luna. I don't know about you, but for me, making choices is easy. Like deciding what to wear, because I have no clothes. But making smart choices is what's tough.
I'm not sure everyone can relate to not having any clothes, but we can all struggle at times with making good decisions. You know, like when it comes to things like healthier eating choices or making time to get our bodies moving.
Well, I may have some unique challenges. So, Luna, you ready to do your thing again at the end of the show?
You know I am.
Great, then let's do this. I'm so excited about our special guest today, Leo Donnell. She is the corporate manager for prevention and wellness at Orlando Health and has been a champion for helping people make the best choices each and every time. So, with our favorite fancy fanfare, please welcome to the show, Leo Donnell.
Hey, Wesley. Thank you for having me here today. I'm so excited.
Well, thanks for being here. Wow, I have so much to ask you, so let's just jump right in. How can people improve the choices they make every day?
Easily. They just have to want to.
That's it? Okay, so what does choosing really mean? Like, I know I enjoy watching my dog Clementine choose which toy to play with, but this sounds like something different.
It is certainly different. You know, choosing is the act of selecting something as being the best or more appropriate of two or more options. You know, we're faced with making a multitude of choices each and every day. Which side of the bed am I going to get out of? Which pair of shoes am I going to wear today? Do I go right or do I go left? Am I going to speak up or am I going to be quiet? So, choices are really just a part of our everyday.
I see. Okay, so then what exactly is a wise choice? What makes it wise?
Well, to be wise, you must use careful thought and good judgment. So a wise choice is a decision made based on deep thought, good judgment, weighing all the options. And as a wise choice relates to health, you know, they really just move you towards a healthier future. Am I going to choose to move or sit? Am I going to choose water instead of soda?
Well, I always prefer water, actually, so I think that's a wise choice. So, how do you go about making a choice like this?
You have to weigh the consequences. You know, you have to really think about if I choose my usual or if I choose to go right, what's the outcome? And if I choose to go left or if I choose something differently, what's the outcome there? You have to weigh the consequences. And always keep top of mind your why. You know, why are you trying to make a different choice, or why are you faced with this choice, and which path will you choose? Instead of moving blindly through the day or blindly through life, stand up, remember your why, and more often than not, you'll naturally be led to the better choice.
Okay, so I'm curious. Now, what makes people decide to make a change, or decide not to?
Well, you know, even if they decide not to make a choice, they're making a choice. But what usually happens is something significant occurs to that individual, especially when we're talking about making health improvement changes. Maybe they've had a birth of a child, or they're expecting their next grandchild or their first grandchild. Maybe they've had their own personal health scare, or a friend is suffering from something significant. Maybe they're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. But in order to make a choice and to be faced with these decisions, something usually significant is that point for change.
Okay, so, without naming any names, can you share a story with us about someone who made one of these wise choices?
Sure, I actually have two.
Great.
One of them was an executive that I worked with for years and was trying to find time to fit physical activity into their day. And I sat down and I offered to poke holes in their schedule, which I don't think they really took too kindly to, but it was fun for me. And as we went through their schedule, we realized that the only time they had to be active was before they left the house to come into the office. So we dove into what the morning routine was from the minute the alarm clock went off. And part of the routine was always getting up to walk the dog in the morning. That was part of the morning routine. Grab a cup of coffee, head out the door with the dog. Great, where do you go? He went around the block, came back, done with the day. I said, what are you wearing when you're walking the dog? And he's like, well, I just kind of get up and throw on my flip-flops and go. And I said, what if you changed your shoes?
Oh,
So then all we did was we started the routine for him as when he went to bed, he would put sneakers down instead of flip-flops. So when he got up, it was the sneakers that went on. And a couple weeks later, I kind of checked with them, asked how things were going, and goes, it's amazing when you put your sneakers on how much farther you'll go. So we found a way for him to fit that into his day. And another story is I was working with a woman who is a public school bus driver. And similar to the executive, was trying to find time to live an active lifestyle and absolutely could not fit it into her day, no matter what she tried to do. So once again, I offered to poke holes in the schedule, and we sat down and talked about, the bus routes in the morning, running all 3 levels of school, and then in the afternoon, running them again. And we realized that there was a whole bunch of sitting and waiting going on. So we talked through the afternoon routine, and she realized while she was sitting on the bus waiting for the dismissal bell to ring, directly behind her, out of her sight, was the track. So we said, all right, instead of sitting on the bus and waiting, you're going to get off the bus and walk the track until it's time for you to get back on to get the kids.
wow. Okay. I think I'm getting it, but I admit it. I had to do show prep, so I had a head start here. But moving on then, when people make a choice for health, how does that feel?
Oh, scary. Scary? How do they do it? How can they do it? Is it going to be hard? Are they going to fail? Is it going to be uncomfortable? Is it going to hurt? Is it going to taste nasty? So there's a whole bunch of flexibility, kindness, and forgiveness involved. But, when they succeed and when they triumph over a choice and they start to really get traction in making better choices and making wise choices starts to become a way of life, man, it is so rewarding for them.
That sounds great. Okay, so why don't we recap with some good tips for our listeners so they can start using them right away to help them make wise choices? More than 1, less than 6, please.
Okay. All right. So, number 1, define your why. Why are you considering changing your choices? And is your choice going to be a wise one or is it going to be a soft one? So define your why. Remember your reason for considering options. And then as you go through that process, number 2, you just have to choose a choice that you can measure. Am I going to go from drinking 6 sodas a day to 1? Am I going to go from only walking 5 minutes a day to walking 20? Choose something that you can measure. Oftentimes, there may be a little bit of research, consulting professionals, or some learning that goes into this part. But once you get it under your belt, then that's kind of the easiest piece. And then number 3, start. Please just start. Start small, start simple, but start.
Just start. I really like that. So good to know. And even better to try out starting right away. And with that, it's time to play 5 things we now know about our guest because they are here on my show and I worked really hard to come up with these questions last night. Lee, are you ready?
I guess so.
Okay, Luna, roll the tension ticker thing. First question. Favorite childhood vegetable?
Oh, green beans, hands down.
Yum. Best place in West Orange to enjoy getting some active time outside?
The West Orange Trail.
Love that. What's your nailed it karaoke song?
Oh, gosh. Well, when I do karaoke, Summer Nights, but the John Travolta part.
Ooh, I'd like to see a performance of that. So, last time you flossed.
Yesterday. Yes, I'm one of those people. Yesterday.
Me too. What's your spirit animal?
I think my spirit animal might actually be a friend of yours, Wesley. You know the Energizer Bunny?
That's cool. Well done, Lee, and thank you for playing 5 things we now know about our guests because they are here on the show, and I worked really hard to come up with these questions last night.
Thanks, I had a blast. Thank you.
Me too. Lee O'Donnell from Orlando Health has been our guest today, talking with us about making wise choices and tips on how to successfully get started on being a better you. Well, Luna, what's on your mind this week?
Okay, here's my thing. I've been trying to take better care of myself lately. Trying. It's going okay, but it's kind of hard when I'm on a student budget, which I am because, college student. It's so much easier just to grab some ramen or whatever. They literally have it in the vending machines in my dorm. Now, I'm no expert, but I've learned some things over the last few months. First, don't buy fresh stuff unless you know you're going to eat it. It's a waste of food and money. Like I told myself I'd try to make this recipe my abuela gave me, but of course I never had time. And then my roommate's like, Luna, what's with the moldy plátanos? The plantains. Also, if you live with roommates, see if there's stuff you can both use and then split the cost of it. My roommates and I share oil, spices, and clementine oranges. Speaking of, if you like them, those bags of clementines are usually a pretty good price for a lot of fruit. Anyway, I'm still trying to figure it all out, so if you have any tips for me, totally let me know. You can tweet at HWOWesley about it.
Well, that's the end of another show. Subscribe to our podcast if you liked it, and follow me on Twitter at HWOWesley. To learn more about becoming a healthier you, visit healthywestorange.org or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. My thanks to our producer, Luna Martinez, for all her hard work. And to all our listeners out and about in healthy West Orange, thanks for letting us be part of your day. Make it a great one. I'm Wesley. Say goodbye, Clementine.